Good morning. Well, today is Saturday, March the 17th. We're in Keswick in the Lake District. Now today, when I woke up this morning early, it was just gray cloud. There was no point trying to get out too early today, although it is breaking now, and according to the weatherman, we are going to be influenced for the next couple of days under a high pressure system. That has brought with it some very high winds, especially at the low levels. So at the higher elevations, it's only going to be that much worse. So today we're staying reasonably low. We might be getting to 1,000 feet above the ground, but that's about it. We're not going to be going much higher than that. Yeah, so right now I'm still in the town of Keswick, but I'm hiking down again to a place we've already visited this particular week on our trip here to the Lake District. And that is, we're going to go past the Ashness Bridge, Surprise View, to the Watendlath Tarn. Once you get past Surprise View, there's a really nice trail that goes on for, maybe a couple of kilometers that takes you to the tarn itself. And then from there you can get a little bit higher elevation, look down on the tarn, maybe get some interesting shots. We'll see, there should be some light. As the high pressure is starting to move in, the clouds are breaking, blue skies coming through. It's not clear blue. There's going to be a lot of cloud in the sky too, so that's going to add some character, I think, to today's shoot. So hopefully it'll work out. I do have my drone with me today, but you know what? Before I came on this trip, as some of you may know, I was wondering whether to bring the Unique Breeze or the Phantom 3. The Phantom 3 being the better of the two drones. But in all truthfulness, except for the first day I was here at the Riverhead Viaduct, neither one of them would have flown this week. It was just way too windy for that. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're heading down to the Watendlath Tarn. It's probably around 18 to 20k hike today in total. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. And let's head down there. Let's see what we can find on the way. One of the reasons, there is a parking lot for cars very close to the area we're going to. But if we take the car, we miss it so much. That's the primary reason that we hike everywhere. Simply because we get to see everything that way. And you just don't know unless you see things. And so the best way is to hike. Okay, let's head down there and let's see what happens today. Hey, by the way, it's Gary here with Gary Clayton Photography. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So it's interesting, Keswick is a market town, and as you can see here, all the vendors are getting set up for their Saturday morning market, just exactly like I would be doing at home in my farmers markets when I'm selling my landscape images. So it's really an interesting location. Now in about an hour from now, this whole market area will be packed with people, shoppers from all over the place. So yeah, Saturday morning in Keswick. Just thought I'd take a minute to show you this as we head down to the trails heading south. It's interesting. Okay. So where we're set up right now is really just on the beach area of Keswick, and at the north end of Derwent Water. Now right here, if you look to the west, we have the trees, we have the smaller fells, and then we have the snow-capped mountains in the background. The snow-capped mountains right now have been illuminated by the light as it's rising from the east. That in itself is a beautiful composition. So we've set up to do that shot. Now, we're on the tripod, we're using the Canon 6D, we're using our Canon 28 to 135mm lens. I'm set up with a focal length of 30 mil. I have an f-stop of f11, an ISO of 100. It's giving me a shutter speed of 1/50th of a second. Let's take that shot. 2-second timer, and there's the shot. I have these pylons in the water kind of leading out in that direction. They don't lead directly to the snow-capped illuminated peak, but they do lead in a westerly direction. I have no filters on right now to slow down the movement of the water. If I turn to the right of me and look north, Little Man and Skiddaw is hugely illuminated. So I did turn around and I did try that shot too. It may be too bright, maybe too well illuminated. I don't know. I kind of like the one to the east, to the west better. So that's what we're doing right now. We're set up on the tripod. We're taking that shot. I'm going to take one more at a slightly different focal length. I'm just going to bring that. I'll just bring that in a little bit to about a 40 mil. 2-second timer. Taking that shot. Hey, if we got anything at all from that shot, I will pop it up right now for us to look at. So yeah, there you go. That's what we got. The winds are strong, but right here I'm down kind of sheltered a little bit. There's a big kind of ridge behind me. Swans, ducks, geese. Hey, pretty cool. North end of Derwent Water, Keswick in the Lake District. Saturday, March the 17th. Cold, snow in the air, below freezing. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you these rocks. Take a look at these. I believe they're called the 100-year rocks, although right this minute I don't know much about them at all, other than E6 vlog, Craig Roberts, I believe. He was the one who inspired me to come here and look at this shot of Derwent Water with the snow-capped mountains in the background. So that's what we're kind of looking at right now. So we're set up here on the tripod. I do have a polarizer on. Again, I've got my Canon 6D. And right now, every now and then, the sunshine just illuminates the peaks of those mountains in the background. Although it's few and far between. The light, or the cloud is actually increasing rather than decreasing right now. And the skies are pretty much grey, so there's not much light at all. But just every now and then, when I first got here to start setting up, those mountains were just aglow with a golden light, and they looked beautiful. So we're going to wait around a little bit longer. We're going to see if we can get that shot. But anyhow, yeah, the walk today continues. The photography continues. The adventure continues. It's nice to come to some of the locations where some of the great photographers that we have been to and spoke about and photographed. It's nice to kind of be in those places. We really just need the right light, which is, yeah, that's photography, right? It's all about light. Okay, we'll keep waiting. We'll wait a little longer. It's very, very cold, very, very windy, but we'll wait a little longer and see if we can get those mountains to glow. Hey, well, the light is just, it's just not working for us right now. The clouds are dropping. The mountain is becoming more obscure. I have taken a couple of shots, and I do have the polarizer on. I've taken a couple of shots. I could not get the mountain illuminated. We'll see what we can do in post with that. But we are going to pack up and carry on, because we still have a long way to go. And it is also very cold, very windy. So we're going to carry on, get hiking, get warmed up. We'll talk to you soon. Something that's quite interesting. We are at Ashness Bridge again. In fact, right behind me here, I'm going to show you, is actually the bridge itself. Ashness Bridge right here, very iconic. And even though I've come up this way several times now, every time I come up here, I still see a different point of view, a different perspective, and a different composition. And what I've done now is, just on this side of, or the opposite side of the bridge, we have the old bark house. Now that is where bark back in the day used to be felled from the trees, if you will, and then dried. We have the rapids coming down through the rocks, and it makes for an absolutely amazing composition with the dry stone wall behind and then the naked trees of winter. Now I have an ISO of 100, a focal length of 40mm, f/22, and this has given me 1 second today. I have a 2-second timer set, and if my fingers weren't so cold, I could maybe press this. There we go. 2-second timer set. There's the shot. You know what? I think that might be okay. Now, the last time I was here at Ashness Bridge, there was a gentleman by the name of Sean who works for the National Trust. He's a volunteer with the National Trust. And it was really interesting. Today when we go back into the bark drying house, if Sean's there, I'm going to try to get him on camera with us today, because the guy was full of knowledge, very interesting, super nice guy, and by the way, got a real nice doodle dog. Let's see if we can meet up with Sean. Okay, so as I was saying, right now we're at Ashness Bridge. I've just got myself a cup of coffee in this old bark drying building, bothy from back in the day. But I met a really interesting gentleman who wants to chat with us, or will chat with us for a few minutes. I'd like to introduce you to Sean. Sean is with the National Trust. Hey Sean, very glad to meet you. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Tell us a bit about what's going on here.
Well, thank you very much. It's very nice to meet you too. I'm a volunteer working for the National Trust, and here I am at Bark House Mountain Base, which originally started its life as a bark drying barn. The trees were coppiced, stripped of their bark, the wood went to building materials and so on. Bark was brought in here to dry out naturally. It would then be put onto pack horses after the drying process, taken further down the road to a mill, where the water wheel would drive hammers to smash the bark up into smaller pieces, which would then get loaded back onto pack horses, taken into the two major towns of Keswick and Cockermouth, where it would be used in the tanning industries to help with to tan leather in the traditional leather making process.
So, Sean, tell us, about what time period in history would all this have been taking place?
Okay, the building here, the Bark House, has been dated to about 1790. It's difficult to find exact records, but that's the best, as I understand it, that the National Trust has been able to do with their research at the moment. So it's a pretty old building.
Sean, thank you very, very much for your time today. I'm so glad that we bumped into you. Thank you. So there you go, guys, Ashness Bridge. The history here is amazing. You never know who you're going to meet. Today we were very, very lucky again to meet Sean from the National Trust, and the fact that he would be willing to spend a few moments of his time with us here in the Bothy and tell us a little bit about what went on back in the day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. The hike, once you leave Surprise View and you jump on the trail up onto the Watendlath Tarn, the hike itself, the trail, about 2 miles from there is really, really, really picturesque. You're following this country mountain stream all the way up there to the Tarn. This runs from the Tarn. But right here there's a tree kind of growing sideways, big rock underneath it, quite interesting. You know what? Had to stop. Got a couple of handheld shots with that, nothing more. 1 minute you're in sunshine, the next minute it's almost wide out snow conditions. That reminds me of home. But anyhow, that's quite typical and quite normal when you've got a kind of a wetter, warmer air mass being pushed out by the arrival of a high pressure, excuse me, which generally brings lower temperatures to the area. And that's exactly what's happening. Hence, you know, the snow. I'm not sure if you pick up the snow on the GoPro or not, but it is snowing now. But yeah, super interesting. We're in this valley right now, nestled between these two kind of ridges, as you can see there on one side, and then all the way around to the other side. I was thinking about trying to put the drone up here, but the wind just comes howling through here at probably 40-50 miles an hour, which it was forecast to do today, so I don't want to take the chance. Because right now we are in a low from the wind, but it just picks up instantly. But yeah, looking down the stream, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. What a beautiful day. Yeah, this trail is a rocky trail. It's interesting, it's beautiful, not particularly hard. Some little ups and downs, but generally speaking quite flat of a trail. Once you've reached a surprise view, that is, the actual last couple of miles of this trail. It's beautiful. So it's Saturday today. I have Sunday and Monday still here in the Lake District. And Tuesday, of course, we fly back to Toronto, Canada. Early morning start on Tuesday. We'll be leaving Keswick probably around 4 a.m. in the morning. Heading down the M6 back to Manchester. Refueling the rental car. Taking it back, and then getting the shuttle to the terminal and checking in for the flight. So we have that coming up in a couple of days. So far it's been an amazingly interesting trip, and yeah, so glad to be here. Yeah, absolutely perfect. So right now we're now at Watendlath Tarn. Just past the GoPro around there, you can see the landscape and the countryside and so on. And over the way here, in those buildings, which is a working farm community or area, they have a little English tea room. So it's here at the top of this hike. I just had a coffee and a scone there. And it was good, you know, it's great. Yeah, again, a beautiful place to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of walk around this trail here, see if we can get a little bit of elevation to look down onto the tarn itself and see what we can find for compositions, see if we can come up with one or two shots. So let's carry on down this trail and let's see what happens. Okay, so right here we had a really nice composition, or what I thought was a nice composition, and then the light just disappeared, the wind picked up, the snow squalls blew in, the composition disappeared. But I'm going to show you in the direction. We've got snow-covered fells, and we've got two groups of trees in the distance on those snow-covered fells. And just a few moments ago, maybe a minute, 2 minutes ago, the sun was just illuminating those two sections of trees perfectly. And as I say, the wind picked up, the clouds moved in, the snow squall hit. I do have my camera on a tripod. Right now it's pointing down to the ground. That's just to keep the snow and so on off the lens. I'm going to wait here a few more minutes and see if that clears up and if we get that composition back, because it was beautiful. Anyhow, it's been like that a lot today. I see something nice that I like, but because the weather's changing so quickly, by the time I get set up, quite often it's just gone. Light is like that. It comes and it goes. Anyhow, still a great place to be. So let's see what happens. Let's wait here a few more minutes and let's see if we get any light back. Okay guys, so we waited another 20 minutes. There's no sign of any light coming back now. I've got about a 2-hour steady hike back to my accommodations or back to Keswick. So I think for today we're going to pack up the gear, we're going to set into the hike back, put the camera away. It's been a blast, loved it. Thank you for watching my channel. If you like what we're doing, please give me a like, please share, leave a comment, I will get back to them. Please subscribe, and you know what, let's take a look at the images from today. Talk to you next time. Bye bye.